Coming up on Famous, Screen Actors Guild Award winner Viggo Mortensen.
My goal is to play the guy the way I and the director feel it should be done.
He's a Renaissance man, an artist, poet, musician and actor. Viggo Mortensen has made films for more than 20 years, honing his craft, making an impression on his co-stars, but remaining relatively unknown. It wasn't until the Lord of the Rings trilogy that he became a household name. Now this late bloomer is finally getting recognition for a job he's been doing since his 20s.
Sometimes you hate it and you think, God, I'm never going to do this again, this is terrible. But then once you're doing it, it's fun, you know.
Mortensen's co-stars are some of his biggest fans.
I respect so much his performance because he's not coming from a macho position.
He's an exceptional person, you know, to know. I mean, apart from the fact that he's a great actor, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking of him as a person.
Viggo would do anything we want him to do, and no complaints. You know, he's very, very down-to-earth guy.
This unassuming actor is also handsome, one of People magazine's 50 most beautiful people. According to entertainment journalist Susan Bullington-Katz, it was Mortensen's looks that helped make him a movie star.
Viggo Mortensen looks like the quintessential Hollywood actor. I think if you took all the different parts of what a Hollywood actor should look like, you'd have Viggo Mortensen, including that great dimple in his chin. But he also does all these different things. He's a poet, he's a photographer, I believe he's a painter, he rides horses, and he does all different kinds of things, and he brings those to the roles that he plays.
He was born Viggo Peter Mortensen Jr. on the 20th of October 1958 in New York. His American mother and Danish father met in Norway, where his mother worked at the American Embassy. He has 2 younger brothers. Viggo grew up in Venezuela, Argentina, and New York. His parents divorced when he was 11. Mortensen graduated from St. Lawrence University in Canton, New York. He made his film debut in 1985 at the age of 26, playing an Amish man in Harrison Ford's Witness. 2 years later, he made a movie about a televangelist, Salvation, and then married his co-star, punk rock singer Exene Cervenka. 6 months later, they had a baby boy. Mortensen turned 30 and released the drama Fresh Horses, the gory thriller Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, and the western Young Guns 2. Viggo earned a reputation for knowing how to play a bad guy. Actor-director Sean Penn cast him in the drama The Indian Runner about 2 brothers. In 1992, Mortensen and his wife separated. He followed with more shady characters in the dramas Boiling Point, Deception, and Carlito's Way. Viggo earned a reprieve from bad guy typecasting with the film American Yakuza, an action-adventure released in Japan. He plays an FBI agent infiltrating the Japanese mob, only to cross paths with other undercover agents.
Get him! Take him out!
It turns out that they are FBI, and I don't know that. And there's several things like that in the movie, which is interesting. It seems like that's the way the government is there's no communication. In other words, my life is put in danger by the people I'm working with all the time, and they're much less organized than one would think, you know. That seems to me not unbelievable.
American Yakuza gave Viggo a chance to play something new.
He's not an inherently evil character for a change, and so that's a nice opportunity.
Although Mortensen had made a dozen films, he wasn't used to being the center of attention. He earned recognition because of his earlier film Indian Runner, and now journalists wanted to talk to him.
I'm not a very good interview subject as far as that goes, at least not while I'm doing a movie. For one thing, I don't, to me it's distracting, and also, maybe I'm a little superstitious, but it doesn't feel like it's good or good luck for me to analyze what I'm doing or to reveal how I prepare to do something, certainly while I'm doing it.
After American Yakuza, Mortensen appeared in the comedy Floundering and co-starred with Gene Hackman in the submarine action thriller Crimson Tide, directed by Tony Scott. Then Viggo played the ultimate bad guy, the devil himself, in the fantasy thriller The Prophecy.
If you're playing Satan, I mean, how often do you get to do that? Essentially, you can do anything you want, which I
I mentioned that to the director a few times when he didn't like what I was doing.
Eric Stoltz and Christopher Walken co-starred in The Prophecy as angels returning to Earth to collect a soul.
These angels can take any form they want, and in this case it's Arizona, so they're, you know, white males.
If you were an angel and wanted to impersonate a human being, what would you do? You know, you'd watch television or something.
You're doing a movie about angels battling in heaven. It's so far out of the realms of our concept of reality or a courtroom drama. You think, well, how do I make an angel real? It's difficult.
Action.
The film did very little to widen Viggo's profile with audiences, and he was barely noticed in Sylvester Stallone's action-adventure Daylight. But Mortensen's co-starring role as Nicole Kidman's admirer in the period piece The Portrait of a Lady got the attention of female fans. Independent filmgoers, though, were more familiar with him, having watched Viggo in Kevin Spacey's crime thriller Albino Alligator. Mainstream audiences took notice when Mortensen earned a co-starring role opposite Demi Moore in the military drama G.I. Jane. Demi plays the first female Navy SEALs trainee. Viggo's the Marine Master Chief.
2 teams are still in the woods!
He can't be glad-handing, and yeah, I mean, you could. Maybe another actor would have played it more to be liked, I suppose, by the audience, but it's not what the guy's about.
Mortensen played the military tough guy, so the actor kept his distance off camera as well as on.
I needed to really establish a kind of a separateness and an authority and like an invisible wall in order to be able to carry that off, you know, bossing them around and running things. And it was better, even though I would miss out on getting to know them, it was better for me to keep that distance.
Moore went through vigorous training to get in shape for G.I. Jane. She also shaved her head for the role, so she understood Viggo's determination to stay in character.
I respect so much his performance because he's not coming from a macho position. He's coming from a position of care, of that integrity to his job, and everything that I'm put through is really about seeing to what degree I'm capable and to what degree the men are capable. When do they become vulnerable?
She is tough and very focused, you know, when she's playing this character and dealing with the obstacles that the character comes up against. She was very focused.
G.I. Jane was filmed in Florida, Virginia,